Tonight, a new champion can be crowned.
I went and one. I also said, and I sit in front of the it was going to flip the race for it, and this is the question from the DRS, and Mumford is taking the race lead. Here he comes in the front line, and Mumford is.
along, everybody. We are ready. Sorry, we are almost ready to get going here for the USA Grand Prix, the traditional USA Grand Prix. And we are here ready to get going, then starting now for the Texas, or the Austin Grand Prix in Texas, of course. And looking forward to seeing how it's going to unfold. Then bear with me 1 second whilst I get the stream up. But welcome along then to the stream, then welcome along to the title fight. Then this is where it could culminate here in a win for a championship win, I should say, then for Ultimate Beast in the Mercedes. We're just loading into the qualifying now, and we will see how it's going to unfold then as we get ourselves cracking then for Silver Season 8 round 19. Then there is still 5 rounds to go after this one, but Beast could claim it here tonight. Then he is 142 points out in front. The gap needs to be over 131 then, or 131 or more, for Beast then to claim the title here in Austin. So let's have a look and see. how it's going to unfold. And the drivers then are all lined up then in their cars, ready to get qualifying here for the USA Grand Prix. Looking forward to seeing how it's going to unfold here tonight. Then this is going to be an exciting one indeed, especially for the race itself, but of course the championship permutations that come with it, as well as Mags has retired in the pit lane, and that is the start of qualifying then for this session. But there we go. The 19 other drivers then to challenge for pole position here in Austin. And nice intro, says Mark Smith. Thank you very much. Good stuff indeed. Evening, Alex, and all then, of course, from Mushroom as well. Then hopefully he is looking forward to a title fight here tonight as well, and looking forward to seeing if Beast can get crowned the champion, then be crowned the champion here at the end of the 28th lap of Austin, Texas. But of course, let's see what it goes on. There's still time for Mumford then to come back in this season, I should say. Then of course, he needs everything to go his way then from this round onwards. But mathematically, he is still in with a shout. Then is Mumford then, of course, having a fantastic start to the season. Unfortunately, had to miss a few races then, which cost him his championship charge and potentially the momentum then in the title fight as well. But hopefully, we can see a good show from the Alpine driver then tonight as well, then to try and keep the fight alive into Mexico next week then. But we will have to find out later on at the end of this stream. But so far, we will find out then what is going to go on then in qualifying first. Gino then is reserving in place of Vanquish tonight. Looking forward to seeing how he's going to do here in qualifying as well then, and of course in the race itself then. But this is going to be an exciting one tonight then. This is of course the championship, potentially the championship decider for Ultimate Beast and Mumford then. They are not going to have to, they're going to have to hope that nobody else gets in their way as well then. But there could be a few other fast drivers out there that are going to be looking to get themselves on some pole positions here, potentially trying to steal away some points then from the Mercedes driver and the Alpine driver as well then. So we'll have to wait and see then who's going to come out on top here in Austin, but we'll find out in just a jiffy then. Go on, B, says a Mushroom then. Yeah, try hard, get that hoodie ordered then, says Mushroom as well then. Good stuff indeed then, as we go through into start off the lap then for Jenna then, who's on the medium compound tyres. Looking to set himself a banker lap time then in this first run of qualifying then. This is going to get exciting indeed then. Who's going to get themselves on the top step in qualifying then? It could be a mental edge then into the race if Beast then can take himself up on pole position, which we've seen so familiarly, if that's a word, from Beast then in qualifying in previous silver races this season. It could get pretty... Oh dear, as Nameless has left the session then. Unfortunately for Nameless then, he is stuck in the pit lane then. But hopefully he can get himself back in then in 15 minutes or so, or less than 15 minutes, so he can get himself out on track as well then. But Jenna then is going to be the first man to set a time on the board. We have got Beast on an outlap then as well. Mumford is on a flying lap as well then. Of course, Mumford then looking to try and set the pace early on in this qualifying session to try and frighten Beast then, to scare him out of the championship fight then. Well, not out of the championship fight then, as Duke has left the session as well then. Goodness me, then there's seems to be a few people having a few issues out there. Brilliant stuff. Good luck, Gordo, as well then. Bonjour from Gordo, and good luck all, as says the Aston Martin driver as well then. Good stuff indeed. Right then, this is going to get spicy. We haven't had any qualifying just yet. Then we've still got 14 minutes to go in qualifying here. After a bit of a late start, then I think unfortunately for one driver, then they couldn't get themselves into the lobby. Then so Wild has jumped into the McLaren, and he's going to be reserving tonight as well. Then in place of Kydell, then and Lewis Riley has jumped into the Red Bull full time as well. Then has Lewis Riley then looking good indeed then in the Red Bull as well. We'll find out what his time is going to be then on his first outing. Here comes Jenna then to set ourselves the first time on the board. Then it's a 32.5 as it stands. Then we've had, who have we got next? It's an Alpine. I think it might be Mumford, actually. Mumford then, no, it's not Mumford, it's Mumford's teammate of Sweet MJP up to the line then for the Alpine driver, 32.7, sorry for him. Nameless has rejoined, then Vessia 35.2. Where will the rest of the field jump up? Then Kamara Racer 31.6. Then brilliant stuff indeed from the Williams driver. Then where is Mumford going to go? Then where is he? There he is, P2 with a 31.6 as well. Then brilliant stuff indeed. 5 thousandths away then from pole position then for Mumford, and he needs to try and get that pole position then to maximise his pace, then maximise his position then at the start of this Grand Prix, then to keep his championship fight alive. Lewis Riley a 32.1, then puts himself P3. Sweet Repeats dropped down to P5. Then Mr. Elite a 33.0, then P6. Then Reflection a 33.5, then P7. Vessia then looking to improve on his time. Jay Hings up into P4. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then a 32.5 for Jay Hings in the Aston Martin. Of course, a podium last week in, where was it? Singapore, I think it was. Good stuff indeed. Right then, there we go. Then Gordon starting off on a lap. Then where is Wild? Wild's coming through the S's section. We've got Beast. Then Beast on the pole position. Then a 31.0 for Beast. That is almost 0.6 of a second faster than anybody else in this session so far. And that is 0.6 of a second faster, almost than his rival then of Mumford. Then he puts himself on pole position. Then his Beast then looking very good indeed here in silver as well then tonight then, and looking very much formidable and back on form, or as usual on form I should say, in qualifying then, as he's taken quite a few pole positions then this season already then, and looking to add another one to his helmet, to his remit I should say, goodness me. So that's a bit spicy. But so far so good then for Beast then on pole position. That's where he wants to be then at the start of this Grand Prix, and of course we have to wait and see then what the rest of the drivers are going to be having to say about that then. Can they improve on their times, and can they knock Beast off the top spot then? Kiki is not on a lap then, unfortunately for Kiki. He is invalidated his time there. Both the Mercedes then, maybe there was some teamwork there, we didn't see it, but potentially both the Mercedes then were doing a bit of teamwork and then to try and get Kiki and Beast then further up the order then in this qualifying session. We didn't see if there was a tow. Maybe somebody can enlighten me on the stream, but there we go then. Good luck, Gordo, as well then. Ginner is washed, says Mushroom. That's not very nice. Ginner done that time on a medium compound tyre, I think then, so he's not looking too shabby. But there we go then. Yellow flags fluttering out there as well then. Goodness me, there's all sorts of issues it looks like. Then Gordo has validated his time. Both the Mercedes coming back to the pit then, I think, here. And there we go then. Yes, Kiki back into the pits now as well. And Chinra said thanks. So there we go then. R2 then up into P8 then with a 32.988. Then he's looking to go again, I think, then is the Ferrari driver. Then back out on a lap, then back out on a hot lap, I should say. Then Gordo is going to try and do the same as well. So we'll come back to, well, we'll follow these two through then, shall we? And see what they're going to be up to then on their laps as well. Then where is R2B? He's further ahead then, going through the S's section now of Sector 1 then, of course, modelled on the Maggots and Beckett's part of the circuit then of Silverstone, if you didn't know that already, but you probably did. So there we go. Only kidding. Just get back out there, says Mushroom then. Okay, good stuff. Right then. So R2B then looking to improve then on a 32.9, then currently going purple in Sector 1. Looks like he's improving in Sector 1 at least. So far so good then for the Ferrari driver, then heading down into the next hairpin then, which is going onto the back straight then, where DRS is going to be enabled there. 2 DRS zones around this circuit, of course. 2 detection points as well then. 1 down this long straight here, which is where the most of the overtaking will probably happen. Then down towards this turn 12 roughly, which is where we've seen a few incidents in real life then as well, but hopefully not so much in the Silver Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see. But of course then heading down onto the main straight as well then is the next DRS zone as well then. So we're heading up the DX. Oh dear, as R2 beat that back end getting a bit squirrely then. Goodness me, then he's all over the place there as well then as R2 beat. Then that is not, I don't think that's going to be your best lap time there, sir. But hopefully, or thankfully, he's got himself corrected then and pointed in the right direction then. But I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to improve on his previous time with that there as we go through turn 19. Then he's back into the pit then and calling it a day then on this lap as well then. Where is Gordo? Gordo then going through the final turn. Then let's see what Gordo can do. Where is he going to go up to? It's P5 then, displacing his teammate down to P6 then, but it's a 32.2 from Gordo. Puts himself up into P5, looking good indeed. Very good stuff indeed. Lewis Riley P4. Where is the other Red Bull? It's Nameless. And Nameless coming through the final corner then to set his first time on the board. Then what's it going to be from Nameless? It's P6 then, a 32.3 from the Red Bull. Then putting Gordo in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich as it stands then. Both the Aston Martins, both the Red Bulls pretty close in proximity there as well. Then lots more outlaps then to come here as we go through. Ginner then starting off a lap. Then there's quite a lot of cars then right behind us there as well. Then goodness me, that is very close indeed. Then there's a Williams there of Kamara Racer then starting off a lap lap. Then Vessia then started a lap right behind him as well, then, which is good stuff. Duke is back in the session then, so hopefully he can get himself back in the car then for a qualifying lap or two. Astrotron has jumped up to P14 with 33.790, then puts himself P14 now ahead of Vessia. Wild is back out on circuit after invalidating his first run. Then he's now onto a new set of soft compound tyres going through the S's of Sector 1. Well, let's have a look and see who is furthest along. Then more yellow flags fluttering for somebody at turn 1 just getting out the way, I think, there. But it's Kamara Racer, I believe, who's going to be the first man to cross the line, I should say. Gordo is having a bit of an escapade there, goodness me. Jenna then is coming down the back straight. Then he is ahead of Kamara Racer then, so we'll stay on board with Jenna then as we go down the back straight towards Sector 3. You've got this, Jenna then, says Smithy then, and Wild stepping in late. Silver to turn 1, grab your popcorn, says Mushroom. Goodness me, hopefully not, but there we are. As we go into Sector 3 for Jenna, then he's improving massively then on his previous time, but that was on a medium compound. That was that previous time was Jenna, so he might be able to get himself a few tenths or two then into the next lap as well on the soft compound. Heading through Sector 3 now, these long right-handers then bearing a lot of weight on those tyres, and as we go through this corner, then heading into the next, as Duke has left the session again, then goodness me, he is not having a good time then connecting to the session, that is. As we go through the final corner now for Jenna, then let's see what it's going to be on the soft compound tyres this time for the Racing Bull. It's P4 at 31.9, then puts himself onto the second row of the grid as it stands. Brilliant stuff indeed. Kamara Racer then has not, well, he has improved then, but he stays P3. He's gone down to P3, as I said, because Wild has done a 31.4, put himself up into P2, then onto the front row then for Wild. Good stuff indeed. And there's a few people having a bit of a traffic jam there as well, then goodness me. Mumford up into P2, then Mumford a 31.266, then puts himself onto the front row of the grid then, and this is where his championship challenger is currently sitting on pole position then, and he is only a tenth and a half away then currently from Mumford as it stands then, and there's 7 minutes left of the session. Still time for both to improve then. Kamara Racer has, it's Nigel, sorry, Nigel's jumped up to P6 then with a 31.996, and he's only a thousandth away then from Jenna's time in P5. 300p then P7 with a 32.1, puts himself into P7. Then Lewis Riley then looking to improve then on a 32.1, then he's going back out on the circuit there. Good stuff indeed. I think Jay Hings has just improved to P10 then, getting himself a 32.3 then just about. Good stuff indeed then. Looks like Kiki then starting off another lap here as well. Then Mr. Elite heading down into Sector 3 then to finish off his second attempt as well in this qualifying session. 6.5 minutes left of this session as well then to set the grid then for the potential title fight here in silver. Then this is going to be fantastic stuff indeed. Currently, both the championship protagonists, is Beast then, he's coming out the pit lane now, and Mumford then in the Alpine are currently P1 and P2, then that would be pretty good, spicy stuff indeed. And Mushroom has said something spicy indeed. is spicy indeed. Then going to grab his popcorn then for turn 1 then, but currently with these two on the front row, that could be spicy. We'll have to wait and see. Then Mr. Elite jumped up to P10 then, displacing Jay Hings out of the top 10 for the time being with the 32.283 then. Good stuff indeed from Mr. Elite. R2 Beats back out on circuit then, as is Kiki. Kiki's had an issue then somewhere because he's ghosted, and I think that was Beast going through then. Beast on an outlap there as well then. I think goodness me, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. And yes, nonetheless then, Kiki is now using his battery though, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there for the two of them then, but they want to make sure they don't crash as well then on this lap, because that would be very problematic then for both Beast and for Kiki as well, of course. Mystery up into P10 then. Here comes Jay Hings looking to improve then on his current time then. He's coming back in the pit lane. Never mind, ignore me. Gordo back out on a lap as well then. Gordo looking to improve on P9 as it stands. And R2B into Sector 3 is half a second up on his previous time. That would not improve his position as it stands as well then, but can he find some more time then into Sector 3? Don't think I'm going to get pole, says Jenna then. Beast can get into the 30s then. Is he? It's a 31.097, so he needs to find 98 thousandths of a second, which is probably doable then, just under a tenth of a second then, if that's what your maths is like. But there we go then. In terms of maths then, of course, we need to go through the championship protagonists standings, don't we? R2B up into P9 then. Good stuff from R2B then, improving to the top 10 then. Like I was saying then, we've got R2B starting off another lap as well here, going through into the SS section. But in terms of the championship then, 142 points separates Beast, who is leading the championship then, from Mumford in P2. So technically, If it stays status quo and neither of them score in this race, then Beast would have won the championship then, even without having to score, and if Mumford doesn't score, that is, of course, because the gap is going to be needs to be under 131 points then next round, or at the end of this round, I should say, for Mumford then to take the championship fight then into Mexico next week then. So if Beast can just outscore Mumford, he doesn't have to outscore Mumford by much, or if Mumford can't outscore Beast then by quite a substantial margin, then it will be Beast's championship then to lose in this Grand Prix. Then we'll have to wait and see then how it's going to unfold, of course. Then could get exciting indeed. Then he's 0.04 of a second up on his time in Sector 2. So he is improving on his lap time then, but unfortunately not enough of a mushroom to get himself into the 30s as it stands then, unless he can find a few more thousandths of a second then into Sector 3 then, which he probably can, and then can Beast, because he's done some good stuff indeed in qualifying before, and we'll find out now what he can do then into this final couple of corners and through the penultimate corner, then keeping that car very nice and steady through there, which is very difficult to do as well, especially on a qualifying lap. Then now into the final corner, then Beast up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 30.8 that he's found, and he's found over 2/10 of a second, 2.5 of a second in the final sector then to put himself on pole position, or cement that pole position then with a 30.823, and Mushroom was right then. He called it from the very get-go. Eric has said Nigel for victory then, so we'll have to wait and see then if Nigel can get himself a victory. He's currently on the third row of the grid then, so looking to improve then on that position as well. That potentially could get himself further up the order. We'll have to find out then. Wild is back out on circuit, then starting off another lap. Then Kamara Racer, oh dear, going through turn one a bit too narrowly, let's just say. And unfortunately for Kamara Racer, that is his qualifying done and dusted, unless he's got enough fuel to go back around again then. Where was that? We had a very slow car then at, it was Sweden then just letting cars go through. There we go then. Reflection coming through turn one, then heading off down onto, I think he's just finished actually, because he's not got much ERS to play with then on this lap, so maybe coming back to the pit lane very shortly. Farf is on the track. Goodness me, watch out. As Farf going through Sector 3 then on his one and done lap, I think, on this one. As we go into the dying embers then of qualifying now. 2 minutes left of the session, I believe. I can't see because there's yellow flags, but I think it's something like that. But 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes or something like that. There we go. As we go through now into the penultimate turn then for Farf. Now back end not stepping out there as well then for the Racing Bull then. Let's see what he can do then on his one and done lap then. Here he comes across the line, and it is P14, a 32.4 for the Racing Bull, then puts himself up into P14 ahead of Reflection. Astra John then. Kiki then is having, oh dear, what is Kiki doing? Kiki is having a few issues with a McLaren there, it looks like. I'm not quite sure what is going on there, and yeah, very odd that is. Wild has jumped up. It's Mr. Elite then, I think it is. Wild has jumped up to P2 with a 31.0 then as well, then improving then to P2 onto the front row, displacing Mumford down to P3 as well then. Goodness me, this could get dangerous indeed for Mumford then. He wants to get himself on that front row. He wants to get himself on that pole position, of course, then to try and hold off Beast then in this championship fight then. But can he do it then is the question. He's 0.02 of a second improving in Sector 1, but there's still time to be found then in Sector 2 and Sector 3 as well then, as we go over the brow of the hill then, heading down towards the hairpin, then onto the back straight. Then Ultimate Beast has retired in the pit lane. He is done and dusted with qualifying here. Unfortunately, I don't think he had enough time to get himself back out on circuit either, to be fair. As we go down the back straight now for the Alpine of Mumford, now heading down into Sector 3. Here it comes then for Mumford then. Can he improve even further then? Can he get himself back on the front row? Can he get himself on pole position here in Austin? Then let's find out that as we go through. Unfortunately not improving in Sector 2 then. That could be costly indeed for Mumford then. Can he get himself through Sector 3 quickly enough then to try and improve then in the final lap, then the final sector then for his qualifying of this session, that is, as we go through the long right-handers then, the car being put under heavy load then, and there's a car in the middle of the track then. And who was that then? It wasn't Jidder, it was Farf then. Farf was in the way then of the Alpine car going through the long right-handers there. And did he distract the Alpine of Mumford then? Coming up to the line then, Mumford does not improve on his previous time then, unfortunately for Mumford then, and he stays P3 for the time being. Then there could be more improvements than Farf then. P14, Reflection P15, Astrodron P16, sorry. Duke then has not got himself back in the car, I don't think, unfortunately for him. Wild back in the pit lane. Sweet Andrew P then up into P5 then. Improves then to the third row of the grid then. Good stuff from Sweet Andrew P. We've got Williams then of Kamara Racing, then P4 then for him, then good stuff indeed from Kamara. Then once again a good result last week then in Singapore. Then he got himself a P2 position then in the Singapore Grand Prix. Here comes Jinder then round the final couple of corners. Then let's see what Jinder can do then on his final run. Then he stays P6 and he has improved. Nigel then coming through. Where is the next runners and riders to come through the order as well? Then Nameless then's P13, and where is his teammate then? Lewis Riley improves to P7 then, displacing Nigel down to P8 there, but Nigel coming through the final couple of corners as well here. Gorda back in the pit lane. Where is Nigel going to be as we go around the final corner now for Nigel, and then up to P6 then, back up into the third row of the grid then. Good stuff indeed. Jay Hings next across the line then, round the final corner then, losing the back end as it steps out then, but he's improved to P9 then, into the top 10 then for Jay Hings. R2B next across the line then, R2B then stays P10 for the time being then. Where is Kiki? Kiki coming around the final corner then, let's see what Kiki can do then. Kiki up into P5, brilliant stuff indeed then, from P17 to P5 on the final run, and 31-4 then puts himself onto the third row of the grid then. Goodness me, fantastic stuff indeed then. We'll run through the classification very quickly indeed then for the qualifying, and we'll go back to our lovely programming then, of course, between the qualifying and the start of the formation lap then. But there we are then, that is qualifying done and dusted, and Beast is on pole position for the Chinese for the USA Grand Prix here in Austin, and that is where he needs to be then to try and confirm the title here tonight as well then. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Mumford in P3, trying to hold on to that title fight, then trying to extend that title fight then at least into Mexico next round. Here we go then. This is the hopefully we get to see it. No, we don't, doesn't look like it, but there we go. Right then. So we can't see the classification then, but we'll jump on to something else.
Tonight, a new champion can be crowned.
I'm the winning one. I also when I sit in front of the California, it was going to fit the race lead. And this is the question: who's got the DRS? Then Mumford has taken the race lead. Here he comes with the top line, and Mumford beats it.
Here we go then, the championship is on the line for Beast. Can he win it? Can he get it claimed here tonight in Austin, Texas? We will find out now. Well, we will find out in 28 laps then, after the formation lap. We get ourselves through and started then for this Grand Prix then. All he needs to do is make sure that he keeps it clean, keeps it under control then, and he will get himself a championship win. Let's find out tonight then as we go through the formation lap. The majority then on the medium compound tyres, then no softs in sight, then 3 drivers on the hard compound tyres, and that is Nigel in P7, then Lewis Riley then in P9, and Farf in P15. Everybody else has opted for the medium compound tyre then, so they're going to choose the slightly faster tyre then at the start of this Grand Prix. We will see how it's going to unfold here tonight as well then. Fantastic stuff indeed. I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be an epic Grand Prix then. It could be a title crowning Grand Prix as well for Beast. Let's find out then. One stop then, medium hards then for the predicted strategy, then medium hard then for the 2-stop then. I'm not quite sure we'll see too many drivers then opting for that 2-stop here tonight then, but we'll find out then as we get ourselves through the race. Everybody seems to get themselves underway then in this Grand Prix at least, which is good stuff indeed. Good luck all from Mushroom as well. Then this is where it's going to get tense indeed on this race start for Beast. And can he make sure he gets himself away nicely indeed to try and keep hold of that Grand Prix lead, that pole position then that he needs to hold on to. Of course, Mumford then will need to try and get himself ahead of Beast and get himself far ahead of Beast as well then in this Grand Prix to keep the title fight alive. Then currently the gap 142 points. Then this could be it. Then this could be the last race then that there's a title challenge then in Silver Season 8. Then we'll find out now as we get ourselves lined up then on the grid, and hopefully we get a good camera angle then for the start as well. But knowing Codemasters, I won't get any good camera. Oh dear, Beast has been disqualified then, parking on the line, but so has Mumford. Oh my dear, oh my goodness, I should say. Then Wild then in a prime position then to try and get a jump then on this start, and we can't quite see what the angles are like then, whereas everyone else parking up then. Mags then into his parking position, and I don't think Duke is actually in the car then, unfortunately. Then we'll ride on board then with the Beast then. Beast is ghosted then. 5 red lights are on here in Austin. The 5 red lights are out, and away we go then for the USA Grand Prix. A good start indeed then from Beast, then covering off Wild then into turn 1. Then has he held on to the lead? And yes, he has. And Mumford then is trying to challenge, and Beast has run wide. Then Wild has almost got off the circuit there as well. Then in the background we've got Kamara Racer challenging Mumford. Mumford still holding on to P3 for the time being. And I've switched on to the wrong graphic. I've lost the graphic completely. There we are as we go through the S's section. Then Beast holds on to the lead. Mumford back up into P3, and he needs to try and hold on then to the top 2 as well, then potentially get himself past the top 2 as well as this stage of the race. Then Sweden, he's up to place. Then Kiki's dropped down 1 place. Jinna's up a place as well. Then unfortunately for Nigel, he's lost out 3 places on the hard compound tyre in the first couple of quarters and in the first sector. Then for the kicks out, but then it's down the inside goes Mr. Elite, then into the hairpin, onto the back straight we go now. Good stuff indeed, a good start indeed as well. It looked like, unfortunately for Duke, I don't think he's in the car, unfortunately, on this start as well. Then, but we'll have to wait and see then if he can get himself back underway. Then out in the lead. Then Beast has lost the lead, I should say. Then Wild's gone for the move. Then down the back straight. Then up into P1. Then he's taken away the lead from Beast as we go into sector 3. Then on the opening lap. Then and Mumford is stiffing away. Then looking for any opportunity to try and get himself past as well in the Alpine. Then so far so good. Then there's battles all over the field. Then, but I can't take my eyes away then from this battle at the top of the field as well. Then goodness me, then on to lap 2, and it looks like Wild is going to lead the way then, but Beast is coming back at him. Beast is coming back at him, then into the final couple of corners in, and Beast has to hold back. No, but Wild's off the circuit. Wild's gone, then he's lost the car. Where's he gone? He's off the circuit, then at the penultimate corner, then he's front wing damage then for the McLaren driver. Then Vess has got a 3-second penalty. The Wild's going to have to come into the pit lane and sort that front wing out then, but Wild challenging for the race lead, challenging the title protagonist then of Beast, has lost the car, I should say, that at the penultimate corner, unfortunately for him. And now Beast is up into P1, back up into P1, I should say. Then DRS is now enabled. Then Mumford is going to have to try and challenge then for the race lead here as well. Then Kamara Racer holding station now up into the podium places then for Kamara. Good stuff indeed. Sweet then the Alpine teammate. Could he have a factor to play then in this race as well? Then could Alpine try and do some teamwork here to get Mumford into a better position then, and potentially keep the championship fight alive then in the end of this race? Then we'll have to find out. Kiki could have something to say about that in the Mercedes as well. My goodness me. Epic start then to this Grand Prix. Fantastic. Somebody, unfortunately for Wild, then he's come off worse than at the penultimate corner. Then that spin has been very costly indeed then, and he's been into the pits then to sort out that front wing and get a new set of tyres on as well. Then we'll go through the next couple of laps or so then and switch on to the tyre compounds. The majority, apart from Nigel, Favre and one other person, are on the medium compound tyres. We've got Nigel and Mr. Elite battling away. There's a kick salvo well off the circuit then at sector 3. Yellow flags for Wild then in the penultimate corner. Then Nigel's getting his elbows out then and pushing Mr. Elite around then into sector 3 as well. Then goodness me, so Favre looking to go down the inside, up the inside, out the outside, around all of them as we go around the long right-handers. Then here comes Mr. Elite, then round the outside on Aston Martin of Gordo, and there's more yellow flags then. It's Kiki's had an issue with the Mercedes then at the long right-handers. Then he's got himself back underway, but unfortunately, oh my god, he's lost the car again at the penultimate corner. Then Beast to set the fastest down of the race. Then Kiki dropping down the order. Then Duke's not in the car. My word. As Mumford then challenging then into turn 1 then, but Beast holds on for the time being then. So far so good then, on to lap 3 then. This is getting tense indeed then. Nameless is up past 5 then, and now, oh god, it's quite close then. It's quite close then between these two, this pack, I should say. There's not 2 of them, there's multiple of them. There's so many of them going through the S's section, and they've got themselves through very cleanly indeed. Very good stuff indeed. Well driven from Silver as per usual then. Fantastic. I didn't need to panic because it's all going to be good and rosy. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then let's see what the tyre compounds are saying. Then Wild's gone on to the hard compound tyres with that wing change as as well then, and trying to get himself back underway. Then Kiki has also had that spin, but he's back underway as well. Then no damage then for Kiki. Then here comes Mumford then on the attack, then down towards Sector 3. Can he get himself up into the race lead? Then can he pass Beast then into the braking zone here as well? Then no, he thinks better of it. He stays behind for the time being. As we go through now Sector 3 then for the third time, then so far it has been pretty epic stuff indeed then, as Lewis Riley then has got himself past Reflection, I think, then up into P13. Kiki said Kiki stopped showing off, says Mushroom. Okay, so good stuff indeed. And right then, so far so good then, like Mushroom has said in the comment section, then it's been a brilliant start then to Silver Season 8, then round 19, potentially the championship crowning fight as well then, as we go through then on to lap 4 very shortly then. Jinner has lost out quite a substantial amount then to the top 4, then Sweet Repeat then trying to hold on to his teammate and to Kamara Racer. Then here comes the challenge then into turn 1, then Mumford going up the inside here into the first corner, then he's taken the lead of the Grand Prix away from Beast, then into P1 goes the Alpine, and he takes the lead onto lap 4 now. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Jinner and R2 Beat fighting away then as we go through turn 1, then Jinner holds on to P5 for the time being as well. Then Mr. Elite, yellow flags then for Kiki. Kiki's had an issue somewhere in the onto the main straight, then he's had another issue then as Kiki then unfortunately then trying to get himself back underway. Nameless and Gordo battling away as well, then Nameless and Gordo going side by side through into Sector 1. There's contact there, I think, and now Fast trying to go around the outside of the Red Bull as well into the next turn as well. It's tight through here, you can't go side by side through there surely, and now the Red Bulls are coming together as well then, goodness me. And there's an interesting reflection as well then in the Williams car then, goodness me. Yeah, going through there side by side through there is not going to be too helpful for your race, I don't think. Lewis Riley has passed Nameless as well now. Here comes Beast then. Beast looking to try and mount a charge then for the race lead. Then not quite. Then he stays behind. Then R2 Beat has now passed Jinner. Has he? Yes, he has. Into Sector 3. Then up into P5 now for the Ferrari. Then good stuff indeed. He's got a 3-second gap though. Although he's not. He's had a bit of an issue then, as now Jinner's going down the inside then into Sector 3. Then R2 Beat and Jinner then side by side through here. And R2 Beat has got the position, I think. Yes, although he's gone deep then. And now Jinner could go for the switch back here as well. Then goodness me. There's all sorts of action then in the background as well. Then Mr. Elite's dropping down the field. Where's he gone then? And Mr. Elite's had an issue then at the same corner as well. Then he's dropped down to P15. He's got a penalty for his troubles as well. Then Vessi has picked up another penalty as well for the Ferrari driver. Goodness me, it's all tumbling down here as Duke then still not in the car then, unfortunately for him. Then hopefully he can get himself back in the session at some point in this race. Then Mumford holds on to the race lead then onto lap 5. Then Beast is staying in P2 for this corner at least. And R2 Beat and Jinner then once again swapping places then into turn 1. Then R2 Beat now down the inside at turn 1. Can he hold on to it this time is the question. Then there's more contact between the two of them then as we go through turn 1 then onto turn 2 and turn 3 there, but now into the S's section then, but it's very treacherous indeed to go side by side and I wouldn't recommend it. R2 Beat has got himself up into P5 then. Fortunately for Kiki, he's had another issue at the final corner, unfortunately for him. Lewis Riley picks up another penalty as well then, goodness me. Penalty's starting to tumble in here, unfortunately for Kiki. He seems to be having a few issues out there then at the final corner, and Jinner's had a problem at the final corner. Not a final corner, sorry. Jinner's had an issue. And as has Nigel then, at the same place then, it is at the same place. Nigel and Jinner have come together then somewhere, I think, and Jinner has gone into the wall then. Out in the lead, Beast has taken back the lead of the Grand Prix, then into Sector 3, then Beast up into P1, then takes back the lead of the Grand Prix from pole position now, it was, of course, in pole position then, but he is now up into the race lead once again then, after letting Mumford have a couple of laps then in the lead of the Grand Prix then for the midpoint of this first stint then. I think we're going to be getting through the first stint pretty quickly on these medium compound tyres, especially at the pace these guys are setting then in this stint as well. Then of course the cars are heavy with fuel at this point of the Grand Prix as well. Then this could be a deciding factor then of when they're going to be pitting then as well. Then will they start to think about a pit stop in the next 3 or 4 laps or so? We might see a few early stops here in this Grand Prix. Here comes Mumford then. The top 2 have split away then from Kamara Racer and Sweet European. Then Mags has picked up a penalty, unfortunately for Mags, as we go through as more incidents, more issues then for Mags then at the penultimate corner this time as well. Then he's gone off the circuit, and my goodness me, where's he going now? He's had a problem then at the penultimate corner, then same as where we saw Wild go off at the first lap, that is, at the end of the first lap, I should say. And Mags then into the box then to sort out that front wing. Then Jinner is also in the box as well. Then Mags has got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Mumford then is still challenging then for the race lead. Mags has pit and quit then. That is him done and dusted in this race then. And Kiki has had another issue then at the same corner then. My goodness me. Yes, I'm not quite sure that those tyres are going to be cool enough then to go around another lap then. He is coming into the pit lane as well now. Ginner then is onto the set of hard compound tyres. Beast then trying to break the toe then from Mumford as we go down the back straight here. Here comes Mumford then on the attack. Then Kamara Racer trying to hold on to the top two here. He's only 1.2 seconds away. If they start battling, he could get brought back into contention here. We will find out in just a jiffy then. But so far so good then, as Lewis Riley then up past Reflection. Potentially the hard compound tyres are phasing in at this stage of the race, then better than the mediums now as well. Gordo's got himself past Farf as we say that, as we go around the go around into sector 3. Then Farf just pushing the Aston Martin through the corner, and Gordo has got the inside line then for the next left-hander then as well. And Gordo then holds on as Mags has left the session. Then Gordo has held on to P7 for the time being, right behind his teammate of Jay Hings. Then R2B leads this queue, and they're 2.3 seconds ahead. Sorry, behind, 2 seconds behind now. Sweet MP then seems to be suffering. I think he's had some issues then with his wheel. Then hopefully he can get that sorted and restart this race then, because he was doing pretty well then at the start of this Grand Prix. Vessia then has got another 3-second penalty then for his troubles. Then out in front, the gap stays the same. Camaro now within 1 second though of the top two, potentially trying to challenge and potentially interrupt their title fight here as well for this USA Grand Prix. Into the pits comes Nigel then to sort out something, but we'll come back to him. Kamara Racer then chasing down the top two. Then can he stay? He's got a 3-second penalty, then going through that end of sector 1 section as well, then into sector 2. Unfortunately for Kamara, that's going to be added onto his race time. Currently, it would not demote him off the podium places though, with a 5-second gap. Then back to Sweet MJP. Then more yellow flags. Then Gordo, Farf, and Farf and Nameless are all battling away. Then into the hairpin. Then we've got more yellow flags. I'm not quite sure for who. Nigel out of the pit lane now. Ginner then is coming through onto the start-finish rate. Then going to be behind Nigel, then just a few seconds behind. Where is the rest of the field? Then that is the question. Then as out in front, we've got Gordo then switching places then with Nameless. Then into sector 3. Then he's passing Farf as well. Then down the inside he goes. Then in the Aston Martin. Then he gets the move done up into P7 I should say. Then goodness me. And right then, back to this battle here then, lap 7 then on to lap 8 very shortly then, as Farf and Gordo are battling there through sector 3 still. Not quite sure that's the opportune place to overtake then, but nonetheless then it's Farf, so he's going to go for it wherever it is then. But unfortunately they've lost now DRS then to the other Aston Martin of Jay Hings then, who's still in a fight with R2B, who's catching up then to Sweet MJP then. But Sweet MJP's having a few technical difficulties, I think, which is why he's having why he's slowing down, why he's having a few issues then on this lap and the previous lap as well. Then hopefully he can get himself sorted then and back underway. Right then, as we go through into lap 8 now, we've got Mumford then chasing the tail then of that Mercedes diffuser through the S's section. Then Kamara Racer is right behind them as well, then just waiting in the wings, and I think is the Williams driver then too for anything to go awry then for the top two. But they are going to be hoping that nothing goes awry then at this stage. They are looking pretty good then, but it looks like Beast is going to claim the title then as it stands. Then Vessia into the pits, then a very early stop then for the Ferrari. He's on to a set of hard compound tyres and could go to the end of the Grand Prix from there. Duke then still not in the car then, so hopefully, unfortunately he will drop down the field then as the race unfolds. What's the point difference with Beast and Mumford? 142 points is the difference, as we got Mumford going for the race lead, then down towards sector 3, then he's up into P1, then it's Mumford, then takes it away from the Mercedes driver of Beast, and Mumford then is, Mumford's into the race lead, but currently then, like I said, championship wise, as Farf has got a problem then, Farf dropping down the field, then he's been passed by Gordo and by Nameless then, but there's contact between Gordo and Farf again, and Nameless has gone through the P7 then, but Farf then is trying to get himself back through, and there's contact between the two of them once again as well. Then goodness me, oh god. So it's just typical, isn't it? Gordo then is in a fight with now Lewis Riley as well. The Lewis Riley on the hard compound tyres. Potentially the hard compound tyres are starting to be the better tyre at this stage. We'll have to wait and see. There's quite a queue forming then behind Nameless now. Jay Hings has got himself out of the fight then, ahead with R2B then, who's in a fight now with Sweet MGP then, but he's not got DRS then. Here comes Jay Hings onto the back straight then. Let's see if Jay Hings can get himself up into P5, I should say. Then goodness me, up into turn 1. It's not close enough then for Jay Hings as it stands there. Right then, in the back of the field, then we've got Farf then going through turn 1 almost sideways then as well. Lewis Riley's past Gordo then, has he? Yes, he has, up into P9 then for Lewis Riley in the Red Bull, then his first full-time appearance then in silver. Let's see what he can do in the hit tonight, but currently into the points paying positions then, and of course on the hard compound tyre, and goodness me, Nameless is ghosting then, and Farf has gone straight through him, and Lewis Riley's picked up a penalty then as well, then goodness me. Nameless has left the session then, unfortunately for Nameless, and hopefully get himself back in the car, but he has lost out quite a few positions now as well then. Lewis Riley and Gordon then still switching places then as we go through into the hairpin now, onto the back straight, then out in front. Let's go back to this battle. This is where it's going to get where it's the title, the tipping point, I should say, then for the title. And currently then, of course, Beast then is not scoring as more than Beast, and not scoring more than Mumford, sorry, but he doesn't need to at this point, because he needs to make sure that the gap is only over 131 points, currently 142. So if Mumford outscores him, he needs to make sure that he stays above, I think it's above P5 then if Mumford wins. We'll have to wait and see then at the end of the session. Then I'll do some quick maths then and decide what is going on then. Lewis Riley and Gordo, and contact between Lewis Riley and Gordo then again, then goodness me, then I'm not quite sure as Nameless has got himself back in the session. Nameless then has got himself through, sorry, Lewis Riley's got himself through as well then, up into P8 now as well then, chasing down Farf, who's also on the hard compound tyre as well. So far so good then. We might start to see the medium compound tyres peel into the pit lane very soon, but it looks like these three behind Lewis Riley then are going to carry on the fight. Then Vessia picks up another penalty, then a Reflection and Mr. Elite are switching places as we go up to turn 1, then into the braking zone then, and Reflection break it, or lock it up the brakes I should say. Goodness me then, but he stays P10 for the time being as well then. Goodness me, that was close indeed. Like R2B now all over the back of the Alpine of Sweet P. Unfortunately for Sweet P, having those technical difficulties is really costing him here in this Grand Prix. Then it started off very well indeed then for the Alpine driver. Then currently the other Alpine driver then racing in the lead of the Grand Prix here, and this is what he needs. Then he needs Beast to drop a few places as well though, which at the moment is not looking like the case, unfortunately, with 8 seconds the gap then for the top 3. Then behind is the gap then down to P4 as it stands, but we'll have to wait and see. Then here comes Beast then into sector 3, then staying behind then for the time being. Get Ginger to do the math then. So good stuff indeed. Right then, so fantastic stuff. Then Reflection and Gordo switching places as we go down the back straight as well. Then Reflection up into P9. Yes, he is. Goodness me. Gordo going for the switchback though, and has he got it is the question. On the traction then, that's Aston Martin kicking out a bit then, and unfortunately I think he's lost out then to Reflection as well then. Oh dear me, that Aston Martin is very twitchy out there, and yes, I'm not quite sure it is. Yeah, it's going his way then out there as it stands. And Beast into the pit lane, so Beast then calling it early. Then he's going to go onto a set of hard compound tyres, I would imagine, then to the end of the Grand Prix, unless he wants to try and do a 2-stop here. Vessia has left the session. And that is that then for Vessia, unless he can get himself back in. But Beast then dropping down the order. Where will he come out in then with respect to the battling pack? Then there's quite a few into the pits as well. Gordo, Mr. Elite and Nameless also pitting as well then. So Beast then will have a bit more clear air than he expected, I think, as we go through into turn 1. The Reflection is ahead of us there in the foreground. Then Beast out in P9 then. And a fresh set of hard compound tyres. A bit of fresh air then. 2.8 seconds the gap then between himself and Reflection. And underway we go then as we go through. Then Astrodron has jumped up to P10. Wild then in a battle then with Astrodron then for that P10 position. Wild then gets himself past then on the hard compound tyre. Trying to get himself back in this race as well then is the McLaren driver as we go through the S's section once again. Then Gordo's out on hard compound tyres then in P12. Then Mr. Elite hards for him as well, P13. Nameless hards for him in P14 as Astrodron picks up a penalty then going through sector 1 then into sector 2. Then unfortunately for him he's on old medium compound tyres, so he'll start to get swallowed up then I think. R2B has got himself past Sweet P then into P3 for the Ferrari driver. Then of course not a net P3 as it stands. So goodness me, he's gone very wide then as well. Then Sweet P might open the door then for the Alpine to go back through then into sector 3. He has gone back through then, but where is Beat? And there is Beat then. Goodness me then, I thought they were going to go 3 wide through there. That is not a 3 wide corner. Let's just say that then. There's all sorts of action going on here, and there's all sorts of we've got anyway. Mumford into the pit lane now. Mumford calling it a day then, as is Kamara Racer then. So Sweet MJP will have to probably stay out then unless he wants to double stack behind his teammate, which might be a bit of a problem. But he is staying out as well. Then into the pits comes R2 Beat then and Jay Hings, and we'll have some more pit stop activity I should say then as we go through then onto lap 12 then. Sweet MJP then will take the lead of the Grand Prix but has yet to pit then. Far up into P2 sorry, is yet to pit as well. Then same for Lewis Riley then. Mumford out in P5. It's going to be tight indeed then with Beast. Then Beast takes P4 and he's just ahead of his challenger rather than the Beast of Mumford, sorry I should say then as well. The good stuff indeed then. Beast has got himself a undercut then just about, and he's got himself over a 1 second gap there as well. My goodness me. Beast has picked up a penalty though. Beast has got himself a penalty here as well. Then goodness me, the penalty starting to tumble in as well. Then this could get treacherous indeed for Beast as well here. Goodness me. And Yes, my goodness. Vessia's got himself back in the car, but unfortunately had a spin then at the penultimate corner. Then same way, we've seen quite a few spins as well. Then Astrojon then onto a set of hard compound tyres and back underway. Then Nigel then onto the medium compact tyres and trundling along as well. Then Kiki trying to get himself back in this race. Then here comes Farf. He's under pressure then from the Alpine of Sweet MGP then, but he's got himself past Sweet MGP, sorry, because he has the DRS as well. Then goodness me, I didn't even notice that, but there we go. Then Farf then into Sector 3 then has taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Then Lewis Riley then is going to be under pressure then very soon from Beast, who's on fresh hard compound tyres, and Mumford is catching up to the fight as well here. Kamara Racer then is going to be a bit out of kilter, I think, then as well. Then I'm not quite sure what happened to Kamara Racer, but he's had a problem then in the pit stop because he's lost 2 seconds. Then Beast has got himself past Lewis Riley then in a jiffy, then in a stroke of an eye, a blink of an eye, isn't it? Sorry, but he's got himself past nonetheless, and now trying to challenge Sweet and Repeat as his next target. Then as we go through, then Kamara Racer's past his teammate Reflection, bit of T-Wallers down at Williams. Then here comes Ultimate Beast. Then he's been let go then by Sweet and Repeat. Then he's coming to the pit lane. Potentially no games then being played by Alpine there in the pit stop phase as Beast sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well here. Ginger A just done is trying to do the maths then as we stand as we go in the comment section there as well. Then goodness me, currently then Beast is on 19 points with the fastest lap. Then we're almost at the halfway point of this Grand Prix, coming up to the halfway point of this Grand Prix. Then Lewis Riley's been passed by Mumford. Then Mumford is on 1 lap fresher tyres than 1 lap fresher tyres than Beast then, and they're catching up now to Farf. Then Farf's going to have another factor in this title fight as well. Then goodness me, Vessia's had another issue then in Sector 3, then trying to get himself back and away. He's lost a bit of front wing there, and we'll need to come into the pit lane and sort that out. But there we go. Then here comes Beast. Then Beast is now within DRS then of the race leader of Farf. Then Farf yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Beast and Mumford have pitted in this Grand Prix, and same for Lewis Riley then yet to pit in this one. Kamara Racer though unfortunately has had an issue somewhere because he's dropping down the field. Well, not dropping down the field, but dropping off the pack. Then he was of course in the fight then with this top 3 as well. Then here we go then for Beast. Then down the inside into Sector 3. Then can he make the move? Then yes he can, and he's up into P1 once again then for Beast. And Farf then trying to hold on there, but now Mumford is next to challenge then for that position as well. Then as we go through into Sector 3, then I think unfortunately for Farf, he's on his old hard compound tyres. Then with the freshness of the hard, sorry, I should say. Then for Mumford, then he's going to go through. Then as we got contact between the two of them there, and my goodness me, what is this then from Farf? Then trying to take out the championship fighters. I thought he was going to do it then as well, but no, he could not, unfortunately for Farf. But those older hard compound tyres then unfortunately are not going to be too competitive then against the much fresher hard compound tyres of Mumford and of Ultimate Beast as we go through into turn 1 now. The gap is over a second though for Mumford then to try and get himself back in that 1 second window of the championship lead then. And currently the championship winner as it stands, even with the penalty, then Mumford will win the race then on track. But as it stands points wise, then it would go to Ultimate Beast then still with the points pay positions then, that is. And at the moment then it's getting a bit spicier than out there as well. Then Farf unfortunately has been passed in, and that has cost Mumford the DRS I think at this point of this Grand Prix, that is. As we go down into lap 14 then, this is the halfway point of the Grand Prix. It's been absolutely scintillating stuff then in the first half of this race. As we go into the hairpin then, there is Kamara Racer then trying to get himself past Lewis Riley. Then of course there's quite a disparity then in terms of the tyre life I should say. As we go down the back straight then, Duke is into the pits. Unfortunately that's his AI car because he's not in the race unfortunately for Duke, so will not be classified then unfortunately at the end of this one as well. Then Kamara Racer then into P4, then passing Lewis Riley then into Sector 3 now. And here we go then, this is where it gets a bit more tense now for Mumford. Then can he hold on to Beast? Then can he keep that gap under 3 seconds at least? Or can he get himself back in DRS range? It would be even better. Nameless has passed Sweet MJP. Oh my god. And he has passed Mr. Elite as well there, I think. As we go into Sector 3 then. Oh dearie me. Oh dearie me. Then, oh dearie me. There's contact there. And Mr. Elite's got a 3-second penalty. Then Sweet, he's gone swooping off the circuit and reset the track, which we didn't see. But yes, that's bad news indeed then for Sweet MJP. Then unfortunately for the Alpine as well. Then I don't think he knew that as Kiki's off the circuit again then at the top of the hill then in Sector 2. But yes, unfortunately I don't think he knew that as Mumford's got himself back within DRS range. Mumford is on a charge here. Look at him go. He's going for the race win here tonight then, on track, that is, without the penalty situation. He doesn't want to worry about that. He wants to get himself back in the race lead on the circuit as well here. But yes, of course, we don't know what the situation is going to be like then for the tyre life then in this race then. Will they be able to get to the end of the Grand Prix comfortably then, or will they start to struggle then at the end of the stint as well? well here as we go through. Then will there be rain? Oh my goodness me, I didn't even think about that. Then there could be some rain on the forecast. We don't even know. Penalties starting to tumble in here as well. Then Mumford currently keeping it clean then in terms of the penalties, that is as well then, but he's done a pretty good job as well with keeping it clean in this race as well. Kamara races past Farf then up into P3 now for the Williams driver then, of course, on the much fresher tyres as well as we head into sector 3 for the 15th time then, well into the second half now of the Grand Prix here as well then. And Mumford has almost lost the car then. That was dangerous stuff indeed, but he's managed to get himself corrected pretty quickly indeed. Vessi's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunately for the Ferrari driver, and will have to get himself sorted and serviced in the box. Right then, Mumford then, even with that loss of power on the loss of traction on the power, I should say, it gets me wrong way around. But he's managed to keep within the DRS range then of Beast as well. Then so far so good. Then Kiki has retired in the pits, I believe. Then that is so. I think that is well, it's not going to be too bad then for Beast because Kiki then has quit in the pit lane. Then unfortunately that will cost the Mercedes driver then a license point, of course, because he decided to give up then in the Grand Prix. But thankfully then it's not going to be causing Beast any problems then with no safety cars coming out or anything like that. Then potentially it could get problematic then if there's a late safety car here, but we'll have to wait and see then what's happening then. Wild then into the pits after 14 laps then on the hard compound tyres after to recover then after that spin at lap 1. Then R2 Beats got himself past Jay Hings and up into P6 now on the hard compound tyres, then still chasing Lewis Riley and Farf, who are yet to pit then, so R2 Beat could be up to P4 here in the next few moments or so. Wild is using onto a set of medium compound tyres, then back out onto the track, then P14. Then let's see what he can do then in this Grand Prix. Then potentially can get himself back up into the fight. Then Mumford has taken the race lead, then down the back straight is past Ultimate Beast, then into P1 then for Mumford, and takes back the lead of the Grand Prix then on lap 16 here. Now he needs Beast then to have a spin or something, because he doesn't want well, they've got problems then for Astrodron. Then he's had an issue at the penultimate corner, it looks like, or at the final corner I should say. Then goodness me, then there's a few drivers having issues in the final couple of corners then here in USA tonight as we go through into turn 1 then for Astrodron. Then he's going to have to go around the whole lap then to get himself back to the pits, but Mumford has taken the race lead then on to lap 16, then into lap 17 very shortly as well here. And goodness me, what a save, says Mushroom as well. Then Beast is going to do the usual disappearing act, says Mushroom. Well, I don't think so. Then currently Mumford then leads the Grand Prix. Then Mumford has no penalties as well. Then Farf is into the pits, then calling it there on the hard compound tyres here. Where will he drop out? Then where will he go to in the order, I should say, then goodness me, when he does come out of the pit lane. Vess has got another 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane and quits in the pits as well. And Farf then has gone on to a set of medium compound tyres and back underway. Then Jay Hings has been passed by Gordo then. I'm not quite sure if there were some T-orders down there or not, because Jay Hings is back past. So maybe there's some sort of miscommunication. Then goodness me, then going on between the Aston Martin team. Then they are not having a great time out there, are they? On the traction, it looks like there, but they've got themselves sorted. Then hopefully that yellow flag will go away. Then I think it's just a yellow flag for somebody giving up in the pit lane. Reflection now all over the back of Sweet MJP. Then unfortunately for Sweet MJP, that issue that he had then, as the technical issues that he's had is must be plaguing him this race as well. Then, and unfortunately it seems like that incident as well then has cost him a few seconds, a few places as well here. Farf then up into P10 then, so Farf onto a medium compound tyre then to the end of the Grand Prix, I'd imagine. From here then can be doable. Then yellow flag is still going on, and hopefully it can go away. It has gone away now finally. The race leader's already gone past it then, but so far so good. Then Mumford then leads the way, then Beast then P2 for the time being then, but can he get himself back up into the race lead? Of course, with the penalty situation then, with the current points gap, then he would still win the title as it stands. But if Beast then has a bit of an issue somewhere, or if he loses a few places here or there, potentially Mumford could take the fight on to Mexico next week as well then. Right, then here comes Beast then on the attack, then up towards turn 1, but he thinks better of it then, saving a bit of ERS there as well then was Beast, as we go through turn 1 then onto lap 18, then 10 laps to go at the end of this one. And this is where we're going to start to see then the fights then start to unfold, as we've got more problems then for Astrodron this time, having an issue that he's still not pit for that front wing damage. Lewis Riley then into the pits then to sort out his tyres, then onto a set of medium compound tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Farf has gone through. Nigel's got a 3-second penalty then for his troubles as well. Then Nigel then has gone through, sorry, not Nigel gone through. Nigel then is under pressure from Wild then, I should say, but Lewis then out in P12 then. Reflection and Sweet MJP then into, well, Sweet MJP back into the top 10 as it stands then. Good stuff indeed. Then Mr. Elite has been put under pressure from Farf, who's on the fresh and medium compound tyres. Here we go then once again then onto the back straight. Here comes Beast then on the attack then as we go through then onto lap 18 then. This is Beast going for the race lead then. Has he got the race lead? Yes, he has got the race lead back then into sector 3. And now can he try and charge on like Mushroom was saying then? Can he try and power on then? Father's got himself past Mr. 8 then into P8 now. And on the way then for the racing bull driver then. Mumford then trying to hold on to Beast then. But so far so good then. Mumford's actually shown some good pace here tonight then. Fantastic pace to try and keep his title fight alive here in Austin, Texas then, but it looks like it's going the way of Beast as it stands. Astrotron is into the pit lane to sort out that front wing, then he's got himself back into the box finally then, and trying to get that front wing sorted as well here. So far so good then. Here comes Mumford now back on the charge. Can he get himself back up into the race lead? Try to hold off Beast then as long as he can. Then we've got more problems then for the Alpine of Sweet Entropy then off in sector 3, and he's lost both end plates there somehow, so I'm not quite sure how he has done that then. That is quite a interesting way to do that. Then I'm not quite sure how you do that really, but he has unfortunately going to have to come back to the pit lane and sort that out then, because he's not going to be able to have any braking or any corner speed at all then, unfortunately. Far then passing Nameless then up into P7 for the time being, then Far then passing the Red Bull then for that position as well. Then good stuff indeed then. Swing to P then trying to get himself back into the pit lane. Yes, he has got himself back into the pit lane now, and there we go then. Good stuff indeed then. I think we'll have to have a look as well then. We'll have to have a look at the situation with this fastest lap. Then currently it's with Wild, but potentially we might see well, if Beast has lost the lead once again, then Mumford then back up into the race lead. These two charging down the back straight here as well. Then goodness me, as we go into sector 3, then is Beast going to dive it down the inside? Is he going to risk it? Then yes, he is going to risk it. There's contact slightly then between the two of them then, but into sector 3 Mumford leads on lap 19. Brilliant stuff indeed then from Mumford then, and from Beast as well, to be fair. Then into sector 3 then the Alpine leads the way then, but there's still status quo pretty much then as we go through into the next few corners. And Gordo's taking the lead out of the Aston Martin pack, I should say. Then goodness me, Kiki has left the session then. Lewis Riley up into the top 10, then passing Reflection as well on the medium compound tyres. Those mediums are going to be pretty good indeed in the next lap or so then, or next few laps I should say, goodness me, as we go through onto lap 20 then of 28 then. 9 laps to go here in Austin, Texas then. Here comes Beast then on the charge. Can he get himself back up into the race lead then into turn 1? Then he's going side by side, and he's got the race lead. He's braking very late then, and Mumford looks with the switchback here as well. Then Mumford with the switchback potentially. Then let's see what he can do then into turn 2. Then it's going to be close indeed, all over the back of that diffuser then, but not quite then for the Alpine. He has to sit behind through the S's section and stay in P2 for the time being. Then onto the back straight, potentially could mount a charge for the race lead. Then Lewis Riley sets the fastest lap of the race. Then good stuff from Lewis Riley then into the top 10, and now an extra point for the fastest lap as it stands. Then over the brow of the hill comes the Alpine and the Mercedes drivers as we carry on then into, this is like the first round and second round of the season then, with these two inseparable for the whole duration of the Grand Prix. This is absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. Then Mumford then is looking to try and keep the fight alive then here tonight. Then here he comes down the back straight. Then can he hold on? Can he get himself up into P1 then and displace Beast? Then as we go through, there's a switchback then as well. Then here we go then into turn 12 then, and he's got the position. Then Mumford then switchback of Dreams then. Brilliant stuff indeed from the Alpine, and he has got himself back into the race lead. Then these two then switching places then could bring Kamara Racer back into the fight as well potentially. Then 3 seconds the gap though, so it is going to be quite a battle indeed. But we will wait and see. Then Kamara might get involved then, says Mushroom, just as I said that as well. Then Mushroom is well ahead of me there, and currently then is predicting stuff as I haven't seen just yet. Lewis Riley then passing Mr. Elite then for P9. Then now his teammate is the next target as well here on the hard compound tyres. Gordo then, as there's a ghost car then I think of Astrotron. Unfortunately for Astrotron then he's had that issue then as Mumford has been passed. Then Beast back up into the race lead, then onto the main straight, then onto lap 21 here, and Beast takes the lead into turn 1 as well now. Good stuff. So far so good in the in this fight then. Unfortunately for Mumford then, it is going to be well, as the laps tick down then it's going to be all in vain, unfortunately it seems, but I have to congratulate Mumford as well. Then he's done a fantastic job this season as well. So far of course there's still time for him to get some more points as well this season, but Beast then is looking to claim the title here tonight. Then so far it is Beast's title to lose as we go through onto lap 21 then down towards the back straight once again. Then Mumford looking to mount a charge then into the heavy braking zone of the hairpin then, and also down the back straight with some DRS as well then as we go through then into in towards sector 3, sorry, then for the 21st time. And Kamara is getting involved then, as Mushroom said, then he's of course getting a bit closer now, 2.8 seconds the gap. Then here comes Mumford, then he's got himself through and up into P1 back again then for Mumford, then up into P1, then into Sector 3. Farf and Jay Hings, oh dear, Farf and Jay Hings are in a fight then, and Farf and Jay Hings are in a wall. And goodness me, what has happened there then? That is fantastic stuff indeed then from whatever happened there. Not so fantastic is it's sarcasm if you didn't get it. But there we go then, Jay Hings into a wall then, and Farf has gone with him as well then. It looks like, I'm not quite sure which way round that was, but Wild has gone through for P11 now, and Farf, I think, well no, he's not got any damage then, I don't think, as Farf then, but I think Jay Hings probably will do. Yes, he has lost an end plate then, has Jay Hings, and that is I think that's unfortunately for Farf then, that is going to be a problem then for him later on in the stewards room, that is. Gordo is caught up to R2 Beat then as he goes through then into lap 22. Mumford holds the lead then. Mumford is looking to try and extend that gap. It's now 7/10 of a second, and can he get himself out of that DRS range then of Beast? And unfortunately it's coming back down now, so I don't think he can as it stands then. Gordo then is trying to put the charge then on R2 Beat then as we go up towards turn 1. Gordo then is looking is P5, sorry, R2 Beat in P4 then. They are 16 seconds behind the podium places as it stands then. Jay Hings has pit and quit then, so unfortunately for Jay Hings, that is we're not going to report that either then, because whatever it was then has put him out of the Grand Prix. And that is that then, as Mumford and Ultimate Beast then are next to try and challenge then once again then on lap 22 here. Goodness me, I can't see what's going on because all the yellow flags fluttering away. But there we go. Beast then into Sector 3 then. Can he put the pressure on Mumford into Sector 3? They're not quite then as we go through. And that is that then, done and dusted then for this lap at least then. We'll go through Sector 3 then, unless there's a mistake, that is. But so far so good then as we go through then onto lap 23 very shortly then. There's going to be 6 laps remaining then at the end of this one. Let's see how it's going to fight out, how it's going to unfold, I should say, not what's going to fight out. Gordo passing R2 Beat then into P4 then for the Aston Martin, then he's got himself up into P4 then. Brilliant stuff indeed then, and we've got more battles then with Lewis Riley and Farf as we go through Sector 3 once again then, and Lewis Riley then on the charge then, his first full-time appearance then in the Red Bull as well tonight, in silver that is, and he's looking pretty good indeed then for some big points here tonight as well then, going through into the long right-hander. He's got himself passed then up into P6 now, and trying to get that gap down to 3 seconds. So R2 Beat is the next challenge then for the Red Bull driver as well then. Good stuff indeed then. Mr. Elite passing Nameless then for P8. Of course, penalties then are going to be a bit of a problem then for the McLaren driver as well then. Jay Hings then out of the session in the pit lane, that is. R2 Beat under pressure now once again then from the yeah, there's a kick salvo somewhere involved in that. I'm not quite sure what is going on there, but R2 Beat then is staying in P4 then for the time being. Then Gordo then P5. Then they've stayed status quo. Then out in front then there's a Haas then of somebody. There's only one Haas left in there, and that is Duke. Then unfortunately Duke not in the car tonight, but hopefully he can get himself back in. Well, he can't get himself back in the session. Then it's a bit too late then to be classified in this Grand Prix. But that has given Mumford some DRS down the back straight here, and that's going to protect him from Beast as we go into Sector 3 for the 23rd time. Nigel set the fastest lap of the race, then that's good news for Nigel. Then extra point for him if he can hold on to it then at the end of this Grand Prix, lap 23 of 28. Then this is where the title fight could get a bit spicy indeed between these two here, and we will wait and see. But unfortunately for Mumford, he needs Beast to get lots more penalties then, or have a bit of a spin somewhere and lose a few places. But I'm sure he doesn't wish too much ill will on the on his title rival. Mr. Elite back past Nameless then onto the back straight, then back up into P8, then Wild now up into the top 10 with the medium compound tyres, then trying to get himself back into the some big point scoring positions. Then we'll have to wait and see. Then Mumford and sorry, not Mumford, then Farf and Lewis Riley then still battling away, then catching up though to Gordo. And R2 Beat then, they've had an issue with this Kick Sauber then, who's seems to be getting in the way a bit from their point of view. But nonetheless, then Ultimate Beast now 2/10 of a second away. Then Vesh's left the session as well. Off he goes. But going through the S's section then, he wasn't going off then, was Ultimate Beast. Then he's kept it in control then for the time being then in Mercedes. Gordo has passed R2 Beat then into turn 1. And there we are then, unfortunately for, like I said, for them, they're still being a bit held up then, it looks like, by that kick salvo that's not really in the race, unfortunately, at this point. But there we go. Lewis Riley has joined the fight then, as has Farf as well, then P6 and P7 respectively. Then on the medium compound tyres, how long will they last? Here comes Beast for the race lead. Then he's taken back that P1 position then from Mumford then onto lap 24 then. This is going to get spicy indeed then as we go through sector 3 once again then. Gordo's got himself past R2B then. My goodness me, there's all 4 of them then in that shot. And a ghost car as well then. Good stuff. Farf then and Lewis Riley then battling away as we go onto the back straight once again. Then it's going to be a 4-way fight then into this braking zone, I think, and there's a ghost car involved as well for the hell of it. Lewis Riley then up into P6 then. He's past Farf then. R2B, nope, he's looking for a move then, but not quite. Then he stays P5 I should say. Then Farf is past Lewis Riley. Then has he? No, he hasn't. Lewis Riley's got the inside then at sector 3. Then he's got off the circuit slightly as well then, and I think there we go then once again then. Farf getting his elbows out then and getting himself through as well. Good stuff. Right, up into turn 1 then. We've got more yellow flags down in the background then for somebody or other. I'm not quite sure who that is. I think it's for the kick Sauber then of somebody. That's not Nigel. I think it's Astrid John then getting himself out of the way finally then. So Mumford then is dropped off the back slightly of Beast then into lap 25 then. 3.5 laps remaining in this one as we get ourselves a new title champion crown here in Silver Season 8 as it stands. That is, of course, mathematically that is, but I'm not quite sure how it's going to work because I don't know maths in my head. But there you go. Driver of the day is out in the comment section then. Mumford, Beast, Kamara and Gordo. And we will well, I think we're going to be interviewing a champion then very shortly then at the end of this Grand Prix. As it stands then, it is looking pretty good indeed out there for Ultimate Beast. And even with the penalty that he's picked up, then it will cost him a place though to Mumford, but it won't cost him any more than that then, and it will be his title then still in the bag then at the end of this USA Grand Prix. Then so far so good then for Beast. Then he's done a great job then from pole position this far in this Grand Prix, and now is he trying to stretch those legs then? Can he get that gap over a second then to Mumford then? And this is where he might go for a charge and might go for the lead, might go for the gap I should say then, goodness me then, but not quite then. I think that ALR light started flashing there as well then, and that has been a bit of a problem then for Beast, then slowing him down a bit then as he harvests the energy into, goodness me then, into sector 3 then. This quartet then still battling, goodness me, for Lewis Riley. Then he's dived down the inside of Gordo then, and Favre looking to get himself involved as well then as we go through. I couldn't quite tell from the camera angle, and now he's got the inside then with Lewis Riley on the outside as we go through into sector 3 then, and Lewis Riley's got himself has dropped down the field, sorry, then Favre's got himself through into P6 and now takes away that position then from the Red Bull then for the time being. That is Mumford back in contention then. He's got himself now the gap being brought back down then for the Alpine driver, then trying to get himself back into the race lead here at all hopes bust then for Mumford then in this Grand Prix, in this title fight as well here as we go through sector 1 once again then. Gordo looking to challenge once again into turn 1 now, and Favre then is looking to go around the outside, then turns to the inside potentially then for the next turn as well then, but not quite then for the racing ball I should say then on this occasion. Oh yes it is, no it's not then. He has to stay behind through the S section, and then that is going to be very dangerous indeed going side by side through there. Here comes Mumford on the charge with some DRS then. The tyre smoke that they patched earlier today has not really helped but there we go then. Mumford then down towards sector 3 on lap 26 then. 2 laps remaining at the end of this one now as well. Then this is where the title fight is going to be wrapped up here as it stands. But so far so good then. Mumford then is back up into the race lead here as well then in Austin. Junior is in the pit lane now, I think, to get himself onto a new set of boots, maybe go for the fastest lap point as well. Then currently fastest lap then is with Nigel as it stands as well then. Lewis Riley and Favre then switching places then. Lewis Riley, oh dear, what's that? I thought there was a bit of lag then, but hopefully it was just myself. Gordo's trying to go for P4 then as R2B's got the inside now into sector 3. He has held on to that position for the time being as well then for the Ferrari driver. Good stuff indeed. Here comes Beast then onto the main straight. Up the hill towards turn 1. Is he going to go diving down the inside? Yes, he is. And Mumford then has dropped down to P2. Yellow flags in the background. I think it's for Astra John, who's had an issue then in sector 3. Gordo's passed. Gordo's been dropped then by both the medium runners. Then Lewis Riley and Favre then through. Oh my God, there's all sorts of lag then. I can't quite tell what is going on there. But yeah, we'll come back to that one. Then here comes Mumford then on the charge then. 1.5 laps remaining then. This is the title fight then to be wrapped up here tonight. Then so far it is as we crest the hill then. There's the 2 championship protagonists then. They're on their nose to tail then as we go down the hill, heading into the heavy braking zone of the hairpin as well. Then Mumford down the inside here, and Mumford is ahead now, and I think he's got DRS as well then onto this back straight. And yes, he does then. Good stuff indeed. Then there is Kamara racing then in P3 in the background. Then Nigel has been passed by Sweet MGP then on the soft compound tyres. I don't think those soft compound tyres are holding on very well at this point anymore. Lewis Riley's picked up a 3-second penalty then as we go through into Sector 3 then for the penultimate time. Then this is where Mumford needs to hold on then. This is where he has to hope that Beast makes a mistake then somewhere in this next lap or so to get himself a few places gained. Then unfortunately they've got a 21-second gap then to the podium runners, then a 27-second gap to R2 Beat as it stands. So unfortunately I don't think he would lose too much position-wise or all points-wise as we go down into Sector 3. Then Gordo up into P6, then Lewis down to P7, then Wild has joined the fight here as well, I think. Yes, he has. Then no, he's not. He's in a fight with Nameless and Mr. Elite then for the final points paying positions. Then out in front, then here comes Mumford, here comes Beast, then onto the main straight for the final time. Then this is lap 28 of 28 here in Austin, Texas. And this is going to be deciding the title fight here tonight as well then as we go through the final lap then of this Austin Grand Prix. Beast doesn't need to worry. Beast doesn't need to pass even. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't have any mistakes then as we go through the S's section once again. Then Beast would like to win it on track though, of course, but he is staying where he is, status quo for the time being. Then far up into P4, then passing R2 Beat. Then here comes Mumford on the attack then, but well, Beast on the attack I should say. Then goodness me, as we go through into the hairpin, then Beast down for a lunge, then into the hairpin, and he's taken back the race lead on track as well here. And I think he's going to have DRS as well then down the back straight, which is going to be fantastic stuff indeed then to try and fend off the attacks of the Alpine into Sector 3. Then he's going wide then to try and get himself out of the way then. And what's happening then? He's had a bit of a squiggle then. So goodness me, then into Sector 3, then Beast takes the lead. And I think this is Beast Championship then to lose then in Sector 3 in the final sector of Austin, Texas. This is going to be Beast's Championship then, I think, wrapped up here tonight then. So far so good then for Beast as we go through Sector 3 then. A fantastic season indeed then for the Mercedes driver then. He has been absolutely brilliant then this season. So many pole positions and so many wins as well. Then he's been put under pressure then from Mumford and from other drivers as well throughout the season. But he has done a brilliant job then to claim the victory here tonight then. And well, not on track I should say, but he's claimed the victory on track, not on the penalty situation, but he crosses the line to win the Silver Season 8 title then. Beast is your champion then for Silver Season 8. He has done it then tonight here in Austin. A fantastic performance then from the Mercedes driver then, and what a season from the Mercedes driver as well then, goodness me. And wow, fantastic from Beast then. He has claimed the title here in Austin, Texas. He has done it tonight then. What a race then from Beast then. What a season from Beast. He is the champion for Silver Season 8 then. What a fantastic result here tonight as well then. And what a battle then with himself and Mumford. His championship challenger then here all season then was Mumford. And well done indeed then for the Alpine driver of Mumford then to take the race win here tonight as well. Then he did all he could then, did the Alpine driver of Mumford, and he has done a brilliant job then to take the fight then to Beast then throughout this 28 lap race as well. Then brilliant stuff from Mumford then. What a season from Mumford as well then. Fantastic stuff indeed. And cracking stuff indeed then from both drivers then all this season as well then. But Beast then is your title winner then. He has done it then as Beast then. He is absolutely fantastic then. There's a bit of a train forming behind the champion as well now, and what a fantastic result that is as well. Oh my goodness me, then I'm sure he's overjoyed then. Hopefully we'll get an interview with him as well then very shortly, but we will of course get to that then in a jiffy then. But there we go then as the other drivers then cross the line to finish off this Grand Prix. Then Beast then has been crowned ALR Silver Season 8 champion here in Austin, Texas. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Well done indeed then as we go through we'll run through the classification then very shortly as well then, but we will of course crown a new champion here tonight as well then. Fantastic stuff then. Everybody has done a great job then. Good evening to George Morgan as well then. Gordo's crept up again then. Beast better include you in his victory speech, says Ginger Rage then. There is the podium drivers then. Mumford of course taking the win then here tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed then from Mumford in the Alpine. Then he's challenged all the way then. I think Beast then in P2 with the penalty added onto his time then. In the end it didn't affect his championship title fight in the end either then. But and Kamara Racer I think rounding off the podium here in Austin, Texas then. Fantastic stuff indeed then. We will get an interview very shortly with the drivers as well. But firstly we'll run through the classification then from the USA Grand Prix. And there it is then, Mumford then with the race win. A brilliant race then from Mumford. Then he took the fight then all the way to the checkered flag. Then Beast in P2, Kamara in P3, rounding off the podium. Then Gordo in P4, RJ beat P5, Nameless P6, Mr. Elite P7, Lewis Riley P8, then Farf P9, and Wild then rounds off the top 10. Reflection P11, then Sweet P12, then Nigel P13, Ginner sets the fastest lap, then P14, Duke not in the car, then P15, Astrodron P16, Jay Hings, Vessia, Kiki, and Mags then all pit and quit in this Grand Prix and are out, were not classified in this Grand Prix either. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then what a race! What a race then from our two championship protagonists here tonight. Then we'll come to Ultimate Beast first, because Beast, you are the Silver Season 8 champion. How do you feel?
Even when I'm second?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What? No way. I didn't think I won.
Well, you have.
Because wow. I thought because Mumford won, I thought I didn't win. Oh, okay.
No,
that's a bit of a shock. Wow.
Right then. Well, this is well, what do you feel now then? Now that you know that you've won.
There's no way I won that. But that whole race, when I got that 3-second penalty, bro, I felt so depressed because I knew I had to win if I didn't get a 3-second penny. As soon as I got it, I was so depressed that whole entire race after. So that's why I kept battling Mumford. Bit silly, but I just wanted a bit of fun. But well, I won anyway.
The gap was, just to clarify, the gap was 142 before this race. There's only 130 points on offer after this Grand Prix. So I believe mathematically, the gap was a difference of 7 then. So you're still out in the lead by 135 points after this one. So yes, I believe you won it by 4 points tonight. So yeah, interesting stuff indeed. I'll have to do the maths again, but I probably got it wrong. But I'm pretty sure you've got it in the bag then tonight. Then, no, congratulations to yourself. What's your highlights of the season been then from your championship winning campaign?
Oh, God. Can I even pick one? Just almost every race has just been fed excitement. Like Monaco, like starting almost at the back, almost finishing on the podium. Just crazy battles with Munford, Sweet, Gordo, Cremarosa at the end actually. Yeah, just fantastic to part of the league finally. Finally world champion somehow. Thank you for the admins and hosts and all the commentators. Yeah, hopefully I'll be back next season. And thank you.
Well, fair play indeed then, and congratulations then on a fantastic achievement as well then. We've got a trophy on the way to you. So well done indeed then for Ultimate Beast then here in Silver Season 8, rounding off the title here in Austin, Texas as well then. Congratulations to you then, Beast. Then we'll go on to Mumford. Then Mumford, fantastic race for you tonight as well then, of course a race win as well. And you took it all the way to the end of lap 28 here tonight then to try and keep the challenge alive then. How do you feel after that one?
Yeah, first of all, just a congratulations to Beast. I mean, I think he drove unbelievable in almost pretty much every race this season. But for myself, yeah, I'm quite happy to get the win. It's my first one since, feels like it's been ages to be honest. So nice to get it.
It was Spain, I believe. Oh, has he gone? Mumford, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still there. We can hear you.
You say Spain? Jesus.
Yes. I'm not quite sure what happened to Mumford, so hopefully we can get him back. But congratulations to Mumford then in the Alpine. A fantastic race win tonight then, to be fair. And of course, Battle Beast then to the checkered flag to try and keep his title fight alive as well here. But GD Mumford as well then, says Mushroom in the comment section as well then. So well done indeed then to Mumford then. Of course, yes, keeping the fight alive for as long as possible here in this Grand Prix. Hopefully he'll be able to join us back for another interview in the next couple of races or so. ago, and we'll have a proper interview with him as well. But fair play to Mumford then putting the fight on the line here tonight in Austin. Kamara race and then rounded off the podium places for the Williams team then in P3. But unfortunately hasn't joined us. Well done indeed then to Kamara, then rounding off another podium, then double podiums then for Kamara then in the last 2 races. And what a fantastic title it's been then for Ultimate Beast. Then of course we'll get the highlights packages going as well then, and we will of course see you then next week then for silver in Mexico then as well then, with 5 races remaining of the season. Of course bronze will be taking you through the Austin action tomorrow night as well. Then no title fight on the line then for bronze, but we'll have to wait and see then how the action's going to unfold tomorrow night then. And 100% then is in Mexico then to preview the 100% distance, of course, the 100% the 100% league, which of course is the ironic situation that it's in. But Mexico then for the 19th round of their season as well then on Wednesday night. So stay tuned to ALR. There's plenty more action coming up then, and we'll see you very soon.